It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, NRG.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Mike Weiner here with another episode of NRG This Week. It is August 26th. Summer's almost done. The days are getting shorter, but the networking is growing longer. We've had the most incredible 2 months, a lot of new members coming in. For those of you that haven't been to a meeting, I'm going to have my number posted here. Reach out to me, send me a text, 443-756-9656, and we'd love to have you come out to a meeting. You get 3 referrals at your first meeting and then up to 30 referrals from there. We do have a big extravaganza coming up. It's going to be 3 weeks from this Friday. It'll be Friday, September 18th, 2026. We're going to have 3 breakout rooms. We're going to have sponsors. We got a keynote speaker. And our keynote speaker, Elaine Schwartz, she's already been to one of our events as a keynote. We had over 100 visitors. We're going to do that again. So today, my guest, it's the only. Please bring out Elaine Schwartz. Hopefully my voice will pick up a little bit. So Elaine, I'm pushing through. I'm going to let you do more talking.
It's painful for me to hear it.
I know. How are you today, Elaine? I'm going to push through.
I am absolutely fabulous, Mike. Thanks. How are you?
Elaine, I'm going to let you do more of the talking. I'm great. Take 2 or 3 minutes. What do you do for a living? I know what you do. Take 2 or 3 minutes, share with that, and then we're going to dig in a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do, Mike. So usually service-based business owners that come to me are working 50 to 80 hours a week. And in the process of working 50 to 80 hours a week, they believe that there's a correlation or a causation even between how hard they work, how many hours they work, and their revenue. And they can be anywhere from 150K and above all the way up to multiple 7 figures. And they can't work anymore. So they may be getting very slow revenue growth, or they may be hitting an income ceiling and their income is kind of flatlining, and yet they can't work anymore. And they're out of bandwidth. And they come to me and I help them 2 to 5x revenue while working 20 to 30 hours a week less. And I work with 3 models. So the first model is elevating who you serve and what you charge. So for example, I'm working with an executive coach and she was charging $25,000 a year working with mid-level and C-suite of multinational corporations. And she wanted to be charging over $100,000 for her services. And the first bump we did at 3 months was to $75,000. Now, typically what happens when you all raise your prices is all the yeah, buts and what ifs come up. What if my services aren't worth 2 to 3 times more? What if nobody ends up enrolling with me? What if I can't raise my prices? All the yeah, buts and what ifs. And once you move through that energetic wobble, like this client did, she got 7 yeses in a row. That would have been 21 clients at her old rate. And now she charges between $120,000 and $165,000 plus, working with multi-billion-dollar multinational, C-suite of multi-billion-dollar multinationals. So that's the ascension branch of what I do, elevating who you serve and what you charge. And then we work on leveraging your existing inputs to get far greater outputs. And that is your hours, your energy, and your team. And that's part of NRG also. So your hours, your energy, and your team. And my clients are absolutely lovely humans, but when you're accustomed to being able to run circles around everybody else, you tend to think you can do it better than everyone else. And as a result, there's an issue with actually team members and delegation. And I help them close that gap in leadership so that their teams are high performing, that they can actually have a team stuff run through their team instead of everything running through them, because a lot of them are bound by founder dependency issues. Can't scale if everything is still running through you, Mike. So, and then the third one is shifting your state of being. It's actually living from being the person who already has the business that you want, who already works those hours. And as a result of all of those three models, my clients are able to 2 to 5x revenue working 20 to 30 hours less a week.
All right, I'm back. We had an issue. Are you good, Elena?
I'm so great. I just ended perfectly.
All right, I'm back. That's never happened before. There's so much electricity. Boom. All right, Elena, what's the backstory about you becoming a coach? You are our top coach in NRG. You do phenomenally well. Was there a backstory on how you got into this profession?
Well, I was a lawyer in the music industry in New York City for 18 years prior to becoming a coach. And my career as a lawyer culminated as me being the executive vice president of the largest independent music company in the world. And honestly, I was miserable. And I kept thinking if I was more successful, I'd finally be happy. And so I kept climbing the corporate ladder and just kept thinking, oh, something's got to shift. And then when I got there, I was like, is this all there is? Is this it? Like, there's got to be more than this. And it made me very physically ill. I was working 60 to 80 hour weeks regularly. And I was working for some pretty narcissistic people. And as a result of the amount of stress that I was in, and also because I wasn't living my purpose, it made me very, very physically ill, and I had to walk away. And I'd hoped, because I was the primary income earner in my family at the time, I had hoped that I would know what I was walking to, but the universe obviously had other designs for me. And I sort of went through what I would call a dark night of the soul. I watched all the structures of my life fall apart. And had a massive identity crisis. And in the process of that, I learned a lot of mindset tools and techniques that helped me liberate my thinking and helped me understand how I'd created the living hell I'd put myself in, but it also helped me understand how to get myself out of it. And I hired a purpose coach, and it became really clear that I was meant to be coaching. And 13 of the 18 years I was a lawyer, I was an entrepreneur. And I realized that I was actually mentoring my clients all those years and didn't realize I was mentoring my clients. And so it was a natural extension of what I do. And I hung out my coaching shingle, and I've been coaching entrepreneurs now for the last 12 years.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Give us an example of one of your clients, obviously, without mentioning their name, of what you're able to do. I know you always talk about making more money, working less hours. Give us an example of someone that came to you, they were doing really well in their mind, and what you were able to do with them for our viewing audience, because we're doing this live and we're also recording it. So it's going to go out there. The first NRG this week that I went missing for 2 minutes, but it's all good. I'm back. But give an example of how you help one of your clients.
Yeah. So this I will say he's an outlier. He's a total rock star client, but I will tell you, like, most of my clients can get these results, just not usually in the time frame that he got it. So I have a wealth manager. He actually recorded a video on this, so I can actually even say his name because he recorded a video testimonial on this. But his name is Tim, and he was making about $25K a month. And he came from in his words, a very blue collar, grinded out mentality. So he had learned that he couldn't trust other people to get anything done, that he had to do everything himself if he wanted it done right. And he had to work really hard to create what he wanted to create. That's how he grew up. That was sort of how he was indoctrinated. And so when we shifted that, he was working about 60 hours a week on average. And when we shifted that, In his third month, he had a 50K month at 30 hours a week, and he kept his 30 hours a week, and months 4, 5, and excuse me. So in 4 months, he 4x'd his revenue and almost halved his hours, right? And then he continued to go. He has a 7+ figure business now. He retired his wife from corporate. She's now the CFO of his business. His whole life has changed. She's opened up offices in a different state in Florida as well. So now he gets to travel a lot. He and his wife travel a lot simultaneously. He took his first vacation without his laptop ever in his life.
Wow.
You know, in his adult life, at least, right? So he had never taken a vacation without his laptop since he'd been working, and he took his first vacation. So that to me, like I help people make more money and work less, but I'm interested in wealth in every area of life, not just in money. Because if it's just money, but you're still suffering in some other area of your life, then something's off there, and there's a need for rebalancing. So it's about being wealthy in every area of your life.
You help someone like that. And that guy was making 300K a year. I'm pretty good at multiplying that out. How does that make you feel? Because I'm sure, you work hard, but you practice what you preach. How do you feel when you're able to get that client to that type of level?
It's, I feel incredibly gratified by what I do. It's the little things that light me up more than the money. Like the money and the hours light my clients up. And yeah, I love the fact that my clients work significantly less and they're living a completely different lifestyle as a result. But the amount of confidence and self-love that they have for themselves, the self-belief that they have, how that has a knock-on effect in every area of their lives, how all their relationships improve across the board. Like those are the things, honestly, that light me up, because it's the ripple effect out into all the other aspects of their life. And so it feels incredibly rewarding to be able to support people, because I know that as a result of the work that we're doing together, it's impacting so many more people than just the client that I'm working with, their entire team, their families, their families, friends, it's like the circle of influence, right? And so by dropping the pebble in the pond, I get to watch all the ripple effect go out. And that to me is what I absolutely love.
That is really cool. Really cool. Who's the one? I can't even remember, Elena. Who brought you to NRG?
Do you know,
I can't remember that.
The other day, I can't remember either, because she wasn't an NRG member, and she recommended that you and I have a conversation, that you were a great networker, and you and I had a conversation and hit it off, and I've been here ever since, 3.5 years later.
I know, and you know what? You and I were talking before the show. Tanya and I got married a year ago. It's been a year in October, and one thing that I know about you that most people don't is you know how to dance to disco music. You can dance, you can train, you can coach, but you also know how to dance. So what is, you came to NRG, you've been with I'm gonna say this, Elena, too, and hopefully I'll make you blush. I have worked with probably tens of thousands of people. What I love about you, there's so much. If we were doing a Dean Martin roast and it was the Elena Schwartz roast, I talk about your passion, your conviction. You're never cocky, but I like that cool, calm confidence and you serve. I can't tell you how many people have called me and go, Mike, thank you for doing a 3-way intro with Elena. I walked out with 1, 3, 5, 10. I mean, your ability to assess the situation and truly network. And I call myself the Cal Ripken of networking. Cal played for the O's 18 years. I've been doing this 25 and a half. I'm a very humble servant heart, not cocky, confident. And you and I, we vibrate. We're at that high level. And, I'm so stoked about you being the keynote speaker. You're the first keynote I've ever asked to come back. Elena, we want you back. And yeah, there you go. Raise your hands up. I forgot what song that is. But your passion, your willingness to serve. It's all there. So, what is your NRG testimonial? There's people watching this, Elena. They're in other organizations. They're not going anywhere, or they're new to networking. What would you say to them? Why should they come out and check out the world's premier networking organization? I love saying that. NRG.
I have been in the 12 years I've been coaching. So I guess it was like 9 when you and I first met, in many, both free and pay to play. And I am great, as you just mentioned, at giving referrals, but I had never actually received any. Nothing had ever translated, no matter how much I paid, into actual clients or improving my business in any way. And NRG was the first place where that broke the mold, where it wasn't true anymore. Because in every year I have been in NRG, I've had between a 32 and 64 times ROI. And part of what I love about NRG, honestly, usually I follow somebody else when I do testimonials in the weekly group, and they talk about how Lori always says how NRG is a big family, but it is a family culture. It's just not a dysfunctional family culture. Like, people genuinely care about you and your business and want to lift you up. And I haven't been in a networking group that I've experienced that before, where people genuinely want to support you as a human being and help you do better. And NRG, and that's a testament to you, Mike, in terms of the culture that you create. And I really feel that that has made a really big difference. So I'm an avid networker. Like, the vast majority of my revenue in my business comes from networking, both here and on LinkedIn. But I'm never about pitching. I'm never about selling. It's all about, as you said, a servant heart, right? And so as a result of being in that servant heart space, I find it comes back to me tenfold. And that's very true with NRG and people's willingness not to just reach into the NRG network, but even to reach into their personal network. I was networking on a call with a new member earlier today, and I immediately connected him with a few people. And he's like, there's somebody on LinkedIn I want to connect you with. And he connected me with somebody on LinkedIn, right? So it's like the willingness for people to go out of their way to support you, because that is the vibe, the essence of what NRG is really about.
I appreciate that. You know what? We're not going to do a commercial break. We're going to keep going. Extravaganza. What is your topic and what's the message? And thank you for all of that. I appreciate that. What is your topic and what's the message you hope to convey? What do you want people to walk away with from the extravaganza?
Yeah, as I was talking about, one of the first models of my business model is Ascension, is elevating who you serve and what you charge. And so what I'm going to talk about on the extravaganza is how to get A-list clients who happily pay you 2 to 3 times more. Right. And so I'm going to lay it out for people, because one of the biggest things I hear is like, I don't know where those people are. How do I connect with those people? And it's funny. I have a client who wanted to work with higher net worth people, but she swore she had none in her industry. She said that in the 20 years she was in business, she hadn't gotten a single referral. And within 3.5 months, she'd gone from she 10x'd the level of her client, 10x'd the level of her client, and got 3 referrals at that 10x level. Right. And that's what's possible when you understand. She didn't know anybody. She had nobody who were high net worth people in her network, is what she told me. And then all of a sudden doors started opening right and left. And that's what's possible when you know how to, I would say, how to move through the energetic wobble that comes up when you're about to raise your price or go after a higher level client. And that's what I'm going to talk about during the extravaganza.
Did I hear the words energetic lava? I have never heard that before.
Energetic wobble, the wobble. So people wobble. Yeah, people wobble. Okay. They have all the yeah buts and what ifs around why they can't raise their price or go after a higher level client. And that's usually what gets in the way of them becoming magnetic to the kind of client that they want. And that's what I'm going to talk about at the extravaganza.
That's awesome. Can't wait. That's going to be right around 3 p.m. on Friday, September 18th. Everybody should come to that event. By the way, Leon Thomas, usually my partner in crime, who videoed the wedding that Elena was at almost a year ago, His big organization is racquetballrevival.com. So if you're into racquetball, reach out to Leon. That goes from kids 5, 6 years old all the way up. So wanted to get that out there real quick. Elena, I've got two more things for you. Take 2 minutes. What have I not asked you that you would like to put out there? I always like to ask that question in case the great Mike Weiner, I'm not Walter Cronkite, but in case I missed something, what would you like to take 2, 3 minutes, share? And then I'm going to ask you your favorite disco song. I know you're not, sports is not your thing. Why are you going to talk sports? So,
Yeah,
who is that? Your
this is my
furry
frequency officer, Tiger. He's a Maine Coon cat. He's my chief
Tiger?
officer.
There you go. Tiger, welcome to the family. All right. So, what would you like to share, Elena, with our viewing audience?
I would like to share. It's something that I have in the works, and it won't be done till the end of next week. So I'm about a week and a half out from completing it. But I'm creating a diagnostic that you can go in and take, and I won't even ask you for your email, that you can go in and take and get clarity on, like, what's the thing that's stopping you from scaling your business, so that you have more clarity on exactly what it is. And I would love to offer that. I don't even have a link for it yet, but if you go in a week and a half, by the end of next week, on my website, which is elenaschwartz.com, it will actually pop up and give you the opportunity to sign up for it. Because that feels like what I want to help more people understand exactly what's getting in their way and what's the bottleneck in their business, so that they can actually create the kind of business that they really, I mean, most of us were in some form of job, and we left our job to, like, create a level of freedom, and yet we've imprisoned ourselves in another level, and we may like what we do a lot more, but we're typically our own worst boss. Right? We're like cracking the whip at the hour still. And so as a result, I really want to help liberate people so they can live their purpose and make, can I curse? Can I curse? Shit tons more money in the process.
You're good. I don't know if I've had anyone curse, but you get away with everything. I know what I want you to do for me, if you would.
Yes.
And you and I never get time to talk. If you can put together a 60 to 90-second commercial, the video that I can start blasting out to everybody, our keynote speaker, I want to start sharing that. 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Hey, I'm going to be speaking at Mike's event. Here's a topic. Come join us. Let's get that out on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever. I'll start getting it out. I got 30,000 people on LinkedIn. I had an issue 5 weeks ago. I couldn't let anybody in. I'm like, something's wrong. And I'm like, Mike, maybe you're at 30,000. And guess what? I was at 30,000. I had to get rid of like 50 people. So, yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be great. One last question.
Yes.
All right. You're the best. What is your favorite disco song? I think I already know.
You asked
me
that, and to be honest, I don't even remember, because I really loved the disco era, because I love dance, and so I really loved disco a lot. We're basically in the same age group, so
was it the Bee Gees, Staying Alive?
It wasn't Staying Alive. I feel like it was a Gloria Gaynor song. So
I Will Survive. I Will Survive. That's a great song. That was a female anthem. That was a really good song. She had a couple of others, but that defined her. So I tell you what, we are done, Elaine. I know you've got a lot to do. I'm going to talk about the extravaganza for a minute. Elena, appreciate you being here. I will get my voice back by the extravaganza. I might have to sit and not talk to anyone, but Elena, appreciate you being here. And it's going to be a great event. So thank you very much. So for everybody out there, come to extravaganza. I'm going to put my cell number one more time, 443-756-9656. It's going to be our premier event of the year. We're bringing Elena back. This woman is phenomenal. You do not want to miss her. And for behalf of Leon Thomas and myself, Mike Weiner signing off. We will see you next week for another episode of NRG This Week. Thank you.